If you're looking for a channel, keep it real and spitting facts. No need to look further. Gangsta emoji where it's at.
We keep it gangsta.
Everything I say, keep it real.
We keep it gangsta.
Everything I say, you can feel. If you looking for a channel, keep it real and spitting facts. No need to look further. Gangsta emoji where it's at.
We keep it gangsta.
Everything I say, we keep it real.
We keep it gangsta.
Everything I say, you can feel.
Hey guys, it's your girl Miss Lita, and I'm back with another video. So first things first, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Welcome back to the hottest YouTube channel on this planet, where we keep it gangster with our gangsters. So how y'all doing? Y'all alright? Y'all okay? Well, good then. If you new around this block, we ask that you go ahead and like this video, share it with your friends and family, and most importantly, subscribe. Subscribe. Become part of the family. And when you do become a part of the family, make sure you turn on your gangstification bells. Turn them on. So that way you can be the first one. Not the second, the third, the fourth, the fifth, or the sixth, but the first one to get this hot sizzle as we drop it off in this YouTube streets, honey. But please, don't forget to make sure to like this video. If you don't like it, give us a thumbs down. Either way, we thank you in advance for simply just watching. Okay, guys, so after I was talking to Gangsta yesterday, he had made me aware of the fact that Michelle Obama's brother, Craig Robinson, was actually filing a lawsuit. And he said, just look into it. It could be a pretty interesting topic that you might want to discuss. So after looking into it, I did find it to be a very interesting topic, and we're going to talk about that today. So I'm going to read some snippets of the article, and then, it wouldn't be misleading if I didn't have some questions. And boy, oh boy, do I have some questions. It says, breaking news on Good Morning America Tuesday. The Robinsons said their two sons were kicked out of school last year after the parents raised concerns about bias in the curriculum and mistreatment of students of color. The family moved to Milwaukee area in 2016 when Craig, who is again Michelle Obama's brother, was hired to work for the Milwaukee Bucks. They said that they chose to enroll their children in the junior kindergarten and first grade at USM because it was ranked as the best school in the region and marketed because of its valuing diversity. Okay. The Robinsons said that they started noticing in the curriculum problems during the pandemic when they were helping their kids with virtual school. That allowed us to look into the classroom, and what we saw was a repeated use of racial and ethnic stereotyping in actual school assignments, said Craig. Now, one of the things that they did bring up in their lawsuit was the fact that the school would actually do a simulation in regards to the Underground Railroad. Okay. The students were told to act like runaway slaves, while the USM faculty acted like slave catchers. Now, that raised a number of eyebrows, and so that has been removed because of a protest of insensitivity and lack of appropriateness for this practice within the classroom. But yet, it was something that was done, but it took a wide variety of people making a complaint in order for it to be removed. Okay. Now, one of the people who have reached out to the Robinson family said that a teacher actually called their child a monkey and said that it was not racist to be called a monkey. Now that's interesting, but I'm going to save my thoughts and my opinion until the very end. So The Robinsons said that they submitted 2 complaints to the private school, a bias incident report system, in January and in March of 2021, though they weren't given specifics in regards to what their actual complaint was. Okay. So Craig goes on to say, we could tick off a list of microaggressions. We could tick off a list of a bunch of stuff. But the real issue is they retaliated against 2 young boys. In April of 2021, USM head of school wrote to the Robinsons requesting that their 5th grader attend another school. In June, USM wrote again saying that they were denying both of their sons access to the school. Now, it does go on to say that in the letter, it breaks down that they call the kids, both of the sons, portraits of graduates. But the Robinsons, meaning the mom and the dad, they had done some things that they found to be disrespectful and demeaning to the teachers and administrators. They said that there has been a breakdown in your family's trust of and respect of USM, and that they, as parents, were disrespectful and demeaning to teachers and administrators. So in the response to the Robinsons' lawsuit, USM sent a letter to all the parents saying the enrollment decisions had nothing to do with complaints. And we cannot and will not tolerate persistently disrespectful, bullying, or harassing behavior directed at our devoted, hardworking teachers and administrators. So I hope that gives you guys the gist of what's going on at the University School of Milwaukee. Because now your girl, Miss Alita, got some questions and we finna get into this. Why would you expel 2 students because of their parents addressing concerns in regards to their curriculum? Now, y'all keep in mind that I might not say everything politically correct, and it might not be on private school level, but I'm going to speak my truth and I'm going to speak from my heart, so bear with me. But again, why expel the students for the parents addressing concerns in regards to what they are learning? I don't care if my child is in public school, private school, underground school, whatever kind of school. If I have a concern, I'm going to address it. I wouldn't be a good parent if I just tolerated and allowed any and everything to go on without addressing it if I felt that it was a problem. I just don't understand how someone can be persistently disrespectful and bullying or harassing someone because of the fact that they addressed a concern in regards to the curriculum that they pay for their children to learn. So then my next question is, how can these parents pay $30,000 per year per child, but they can't voice concerns? $30,000. That's $60,000 a year for 2 kids to go to that school, but they can't address concerns in regards to what's going on with their kids. So any and everything that goes on at that school is supposed to be tolerated, and the parents are not supposed to say anything. They just supposed to give their money and keep their mouth shut. Is that what the University School of Milwaukee is saying? Give your tuition money, but keep your mouth shut in regards to how we run our school. If you address concerns, then your kids can risk expulsion because of you running your mouth. Is that the message that they're trying to send? I really want to know, is that the message that they're trying to send? Because if I'm spending $60,000 per year for my kids to go to school, I'm going to address concerns wherever I feel the need to address concerns. Like I said, I don't care if it's a free school, an underground school, or whatever kind of school. If I have a concern in regards to what my child is learning, then I'm going to express that. Okay? So, my next question is, what type of warning was given to the Robinsons that they were being deemed as harassing or bullying or being disrespectful? What type of warning was given? How did these administrators address their concern besides giving expulsion? So you sent out a letter to all the parents saying that it wasn't because of the complaints. However, you have never not once gave them any prior knowledge of them being disrespectful, harassing, or bullying. But all of a sudden, because they have concerns, now their kids are expelled. I don't get that. I really don't get that. Even if you are at a particular job or in other schools, they normally give you some type of warning in regards to your behavior. And then if it persists, then you get some form of a disciplinary action, so on and so on. So if I'm paying $30,000 per child, $60,000 per year, I'm not supposed to address concerns that I have with my child's education? I really don't get that. I don't get that. But what type of warning did you give them? And why would you tell them to take them to some other school? The only thing that I can see is the fact that they address their concerns, because they addressed their concerns in January and in March, and they was told that their oldest son in April shouldn't be attending their school anymore because of their demeaning and demanding behavior. Wow. So let's move on. How can you say someone's kids or someone's sons is a portrait of a graduate, yet you expel them? They didn't give you any problems. They weren't bad kids. They were straight A students. So why expel them? Why expel them for their parents addressing concerns? That does feel like retaliation upon the kids. Because their parents had concerns, you expel them? It's not a lack of trust. It's a concern in regards to the curriculum. So why not take the time to address the concern that the parents had and at least hear them out and see if other parents had that same concern, instead of expelling the student because a parent had a concern? So then my next thought is, if the kids are model students, who is at home over them to ensure that they are model students? Their parents. Their parents. Remember, a child is a reflection of their parents. So that makes me feel like, are you questioning them as parents? Because you are referring to their behavior as disrespectful, bullying, and harassing. If that was the case, then their kids' behavior would have reflected some type of demanding, demeaning, bullying, harassment. Their behavior would have reflected that, because that's what would have been that's what the kids would have been seeing. But you didn't say that the kids was disrespectful. You didn't say that the kids had any type of learning disabilities or anything like that. You said that they were portraits of a graduate. So if they're portraits of a graduate, then that means that they're learning this behavior from their parents. So if they're learning this behavior from their parents of how to be a model student, if there was a concern or something that they said, would it be deemed as bullying because of the fact that you feel that their parents' concerns was bullying and harassing and you won't tolerate that? I really want to know that. Then I want to ask, what is the reason to create a simulation of slavery times on a plantation? Why would you emulate being caught by a slave owner? You are having them to act out the actual physical behavior that occurred on a plantation. Why? You can't explain it in a sufficient manner to these students besides acting it out in a stimulation in regards to slavery time frames, and you acting as the master who is chasing them? Are you serious? I have yet to see anyone who couldn't teach someone something without having to do a reenactment of it. I'm not understanding that. Why would you have to do a reenactment of being a slave catcher in order for someone to grasp what is going on? I don't understand how you could even think that that is appropriate behavior by any means. I don't even see how you could add that into your curriculum and be okay with teachers chasing students as if they were on a plantation during slavery times. That baffles me. That is mind-boggling. Why would I need a recreation of slavery time frames? I don't get that. I definitely don't get that. Then my next concern is, how in the world is calling someone of color a monkey not racism? Somebody please explain that to me. Please explain how calling someone a monkey is not racism. I am sending my child to a school that I paid $30,000 a year for them to be called a monkey? Get the heck out of here. Get the heck out of here. $30,000 a year for them to be called a monkey, and then for a reenactment of slavery times on a plantation to occur. I definitely can see why that they filed the lawsuit, because it does feel like retaliation against their kids because they expressed a concern. And the world is already a place where we are faced with so many different adversities that we need to give our children every opportunity to be ahead of the game that we possibly can. And so I commend them for being parents who can, one, afford an additional $60,000 a year for their kids to go to private school, to give them the best options available in regards to school. I commend them for that. But I definitely understand how they feel when, one, You're not told how your behavior is being harassing. You're not told how your behavior is being bullying or demeaning. You weren't given any type of warning. Anytime that you have a business that's going on and you have a signed contract, that is an agreement between the two of you that, one, you're going to act in good faith. Basically, you're going to do the things that you said you was going to do in this contract. So how is redoing a reenactment of slavery times good faith of curriculum for students? Or how is calling someone a monkey good faith of curriculum? What exactly are you trying to teach these kids? What exactly are you trying to teach these kids? And being that these kids are biracial, it's going to be even harder for them. Just like it would be extremely hard for an African American within the world. Because y'all have set that temperament within that school. And the lawsuit shows how people of color have been stereotyped within that school based upon the curriculum that you guys have presented. And the primary example is calling someone a monkey and reenacting slavery times on a plantation. This is really mind-boggling, and it definitely makes me say, but it also pisses me off. So I'm going to leave it at that. I'm your girl, Miss Lita, and until next time, I'm out this thing. You guys have a blessed and wonderful day.
Another day, another story. Keep it gangster with Gangsta Mosey.
Keep it gangsta.
Another day, another story.